Just waiting for Shally to hit record.
Well, we're not live on YouTube yet.
Oh.
As soon as we go live on YouTube, then I hit record. And this always takes a while. All right, we are live on YouTube and I will start recording.
Okay, wonderful. Welcome. And I would at this point like to call the meeting to order. Today is April 9th and it's 5:33 p.m. This is the regular Legislative Action Committee meeting of Cities Association of Santa Clara County. And we are at Cities Association without a chair at this point. In a couple of hours, the board will visit that agenda item to decide what we want to do with the vacant position. Last month, Legislative Action Committee meeting did not happen. The then chair had an emergency and he had informed the executive director ahead of time that he had to cancel the meeting. That's what I understand now. And so as the board president today, I have taken the privilege with the attorney for Cities Association with her approval that I can chair the meeting because I felt it was important that we get the work done. So with that, please bear with me and let's have roll call, please, Shally.
Sure. Ann Bybee. Present. Ray Wang or Liang Chow. Kelly Ramirez.
Here.
Larry Lang.
Here.
Rajiv Bateja.
Here.
Maria Risto. Or Rob Moore.
Rob Moore is running behind. He had some car issues. He just let me know.
Okay. Carmen Montano or Evelyn Chua. Ken Torin.
Here.
Mark Turner.
Here.
Ellen Kamei.
Ellen, you're on mute.
I said here.
Okay, excellent. Thank you.
Hopefully other people heard me.
Vicky Vinker or Ed Lowing. George Casey.
Here.
Kelly Cox or Suds Jane. Tina Walia.
Here.
Chelsea Chang. Here. With 10, we have quorum.
Okay, wonderful. Do we have any member of the public who would like to speak on non-agendized items? Anyone in the room? No? Anyone online?
No one has their hands.
Okay, wonderful. I close the non-agendized oral communications and we start with the agenda. The first item is consent agenda to review and approve minutes of the Legislative Action Committee meeting held on February 12th, 2026. Any changes by the committee members? Anyone? No? Open public comment in the room? Seeing none. Any public comment online?
No one has their hand raised.
Okay, bring it back to the committee. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes? Moved by Mayor Bateja. Second?
Second.
Second, Mayor Turner. All those in favor? Aye. Sorry, you have to take a roll call vote. My bad.
Oh.
Because we have people online. That's how this whole evening will be.
Chelsea Chang.
Yes.
Tina Walia.
Yes.
George Casey.
Yes.
Ellen Kamei.
Yes.
Mark Turner.
Yes.
Ken Torin.
Yes.
Rajiv Bateja.
Yes.
Larry Lang.
Yes.
Kelly Ramirez.
Yes.
Ann Bybee.
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously.
Thank you. With that, we move on to item number 2, which is the chair update. As I already mentioned, as the board president, I'm Tina Walia. I'm going to be running this meeting in the interest of the organization today. And I do want to share with you that what I have put together, the bills and a lot of the information, including what was sent to everyone this afternoon, I've had a lot of support from the first vice president, J.R. Fruin. So we both put our heads together to get this done in the last week. Item number 3 is early bill review. And we're going to discuss multiple bills. You received 7 bills with their summaries, letters of support, and other supporting documentation, which were part of the agenda packet, as well as 1 email that was sent, I think around 12:30 or so this afternoon, that was to give you the latest update. And There are links to it that if you want to review what is the analysis at the state ledge, you can do that if you want to pull that up. With that, let's get started. The first bill is SB 1013, which is on automated license plate recognition systems. And currently it is in the Senate committee process. The League of California Cities position is pending opposition. I wonder why. The synopsis of the bill is that this bill would alter the existing legal definition of a public agency governed by state ALPR legislation. It would also prohibit default access to national ALPR databases, requiring that agencies' local scans by default would not be accessible by any other agency, and so on and so forth. The reason I felt this bill was important, those of you, I think most of you are also on the board. One more member has come. Okay, great. At the last board meeting, the March board meeting, Las Gatas Police Chief Jamie Field had pointed out that this was a bill that we should consider as we were discussing automated license plate readers. And that's the reason I put this here. So I'm going to pause right there. You all have the information in the packet, and I'm pretty confident you have all read this. So questions, discussion, I'm just going to open it up to the committee. Anyone?
Well, I can tell you that I spoke with my acting police chief, and they support the ALPRs as is.
So
You would oppose this.
oppose the bill?
Mhm.
Do you have a reason that you could share with us that might help the other members?
We felt that the recent concerns are not about ALPR, but perhaps a specific vendor, that there are other vendors that you can choose from, and did not feel that felt that the technology helped in so many ways with their work, and restricting it and restricting the way it could be used was more of a reaction to a particular vendor's issue rather than the actual technology issue.
Thank you for sharing that. Other thoughts? Mayor Bateja?
One of the issues is that it says that if a vehicle is not on the hot list, it requires deletion of that data within 14 days. And I think that period is too short, because sometimes investigations for vehicles that are not on the hot list may need more time. So I'm a little cautious about that particular issue in the bill.
Other thoughts? Anyone online? This has been the hot subject, automated license plate readers.
I think that we're in a
Councilmember
very
Cox.
similar position to, I'm sorry, Kelly. Speaking with the police department again, and we've been discussing this ad nauseum in the last two council meetings, between Flock, the Peregrine contract that they brought forward. Our police, and I will read from what staff has commented on this, believes the current approach with limited retention combined with strict access controls, audit requirements, written authorization for data sharing, and legal safeguards strikes an appropriate balance between right now protecting individual privacy and maintaining the ability to effectively investigate and solve crimes. So this is one that we would take no position on, because it does fall outside of our LAP currently, but I think they wanted that stated as well, that as is right now, we as a council voted to continue to support automatic license plate readers, as well as the contract for data sharing, which came up and kind of dovetailed on that as well. I'm sorry, and it wasn't a data sharing platform. Peregrine is a contract we just signed that would take the ALRP information as well as county and highway information, et cetera, and compile data into one spot.
Okay, other thoughts?
I would say it feels too restrictive at this point in time. I think we need more time to figure this out before we start restricting things that we can't go back, and it's not likely we'd go back and overturn any of these things.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyone online? Seeing none, it seems we are not quite ready to move forward with this. Just wait and watch. Is that Mayor
I mean,
Turner?
is the position here based on League of Cities? They say pending opposition, so
Yeah.
I'll make a motion to oppose.
Want to oppose this?
Yeah.
Okay. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay. Do we want to have any comments on that? Motion by Mayor Turner and seconded by Councilmember Ramirez. Gilroy.
No one.
Any comments, Mayor?
I'll just comment that from the Town of Los Gatos Police Department, our chief, we're very fortunate, our chief is the vice president of the California Police Chiefs Association. So she's super in the loop on these things. She and the Police Chiefs Association had supported a previous bill that would have done 60 days. And I believe that bill died. This bill, I think, competes with that bill. So, I don't know. I think the Chiefs were very supportive of something like 60 days. They thought that was good enough. In Los Gatos, we do 30 days and we do, sort of daily auditing, which I think is a best practice. So, I don't know if it would make sense if we oppose this, but at some sort of position that says something about the provision of restricting to some amount of days is a good thing. We would support maybe a broader version of that. I don't know. But I think it was telling to me that the Police Chiefs Association was supportive of some sort of guardrails around it. But I think, the 14 days, I don't know any cities.
Yeah, it's too restricted. I like the 60 days.
Mhm.
I don't know that the state legislature does. They'll get to be the ones,
Yeah.
So we open to saying something up, putting that in, we would oppose unless amended.
That's one way to do it. So-
I would suggest that.
Do you want to make an amendment to your motion since
Sure.
it was your?
Yeah, and before I do that though, are we,
Other thoughts? I think that would be
Yeah.
good.
it's the number of days we would want to
Yeah,
kind
is
of
that
flesh
the
out
issue?
here.
Councilmember Chang.
Our discussion is coming up on the 21st, so I think I'll abstain for now, but it's an interesting discussion. I think
Okay.
a lot of our departments are utilizing them
Okay,
pretty significantly.
Mayor Bateja?
So there are actually two different periods here. One is the 30-day period in this bill, which refers to how long you can retain data for a vehicle that matches the hot list. And then there's a 14-day period for vehicles that don't match the hot list. So I just want to be clear about which one we're talking about when we're talking about 60 days. Because there are
Well,
two
for me,
different.
it'd be the ones on the hot list, 60
ones on the
days,
hot list.
probably 30 days for those that are not,
Okay.
would be a reasonable period of time, I think.
Just want to make sure we-
Yeah, no, I appreciate that.
Okay. Is that what you were suggesting
I think
earlier?
that's reasonable.
Since you seem to have heard from your.
Yeah, 60 days for the hot list is what
60 days for
what
the
the
hot list.
original, what the other bill had
Okay,
described.
and not changing the 30-day for the ones that 60 not matching the hot
No,
list.
the 60 days goes, it goes from 30 days on the hot list to 60 days. The question is whether we want to change the 14 days not on the hot list
Thank you.
to something else.
The
Thank
30,
you.
I think is what we're
30.
talking about, yeah.
For clarification, I don't see in the summary of this where the 60 days is mentioned at all. Am I
No.
missing that?
There's
No,
30 and
not.
14
It
is
said
Wait,
30 and
yeah.
14. So this, as far as I understand it, the cities have their own jurisdictions that allow them to determine the number of days retained as well. So
Unless this law passes.
unless this law passes,
Right.
right? But so if we're trying to then put in a provision that says 60,
Minimum.
does that say that for that
Again,
would
hot list.
bypass some of the,
Yeah,
and
I
we're
don't,
at 30.
yeah, I don't know. And that's a good point. I don't know if cities are beyond the, I mean, we're 30. That's what we
Most
do as
places are
well.
at 30.
Yeah.
And so
So-
I think if we went to 60, what would happen is we just had a very robust public discussion and reinforced that our limit was 60. So a state bill that we would support then saying 60, I think would be antithetical to what we committed to our public in terms of our transparency for a city.
Got it. I understand. Yeah.
But isn't it, so if the state says, let's say hypothetically, 60 hot list, 30 not hot list. And maybe I'm getting this backwards. Can we be more restrictive?
Yes.
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 So we
Yeah.
could then impose if we wanted the 30 to 14.
Correct.
I agree. I just don't know what supporting this then would be doing in terms of a statement of what our city supports, you know.
Mayor Prestigia?
I just want to say, I think the distinction between hot list and not hot list is very misleading. Because when people want to do something bad, they will steal a license plate that's not on the hot list
Right.
and put it on their vehicles. So you're better off just treating both of those the same. And I would say 30 days is probably pretty good for both. So I would say let's oppose the 14-day
Yeah.
and keep that at 30.
Okay, is that, since it was your motion,
Yeah, I
do you
could be-
want to change that?
Yeah, I can be supportive.
Oppose unless
Amended.
amended where the not matching the hot list number of days is increased to 30 days?
Yeah, the 14 to 30 days.
Okay, does that work for you to second? Okay. Any discussion on that one? I know a couple of members would be abstaining, and I respect that. Other thoughts? Ken?
Hmm.
Anyone online?
Yeah, just Larry Lang here, Los Santos, similar to the previous comment, this discussion is upcoming for us, so it'd be premature for me to take a vote, so I'd abstain, but on a personal level, I do think 30 days is the right number.
Okay. Any further discussion? Mayor Winker, did you want to jump in? We're talking about.
That's all I got.
Because because I don't know if I'm going to get, I'm thinking about the votes here because a few will be abstaining. Did you want to vote for the ALPR?
I'm gonna abstain.
Okay, so, okay, let's have a motion on this, a vote on this motion, please.
Okay. And I want to make sure I caught the motion correctly.
Mhm.
Motion to oppose SB 1013 unless amended to the not matching the hot list number of days is raised from 14 to 30 days. Was made by Turner, seconded by Ramirez. Okay. Charles C. Chang,
Abstain.
Tina Walia,
Yes, I support it.
Kelly Cox,
I'm gonna abstain as well.
George Casey,
Abstain.
Vicky Vinker,
Abstain.
Ellen Kamei,
Abstain.
Mark Turner,
Yes.
Ken Toran,
Yes.
Rob Moore,
Yes.
Rajiv Bateja,
Yes.
Larry Lang,
Abstain?
Kelly Ramirez,
Yes.
Ann Bybee. Abstain. We have 6 abstentions. Is that right? That makes sense. 6 yes and 6 abstentions.
So the motion fails. We tried, okay?
So now what?
Yeah, so what happens here is,
Hold on.
yeah,
Who's the attorney here? Vicky, need your help, or George? How many are present? Hold on. How many are present today?
We have
Let me, no, I just
I'm gonna
want to make
recount
sure. How many are here at this point?
9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
So we have 13 members, 6 said yes, and 6 said abstain.
Sorry, it should be, maybe it's 7. 1, 2, 3,
No.
4.
We have 13 here, 6 yes, 6 abstain. Does it pass or fail? I need an attorney to help me out.
so someone didn't vote?
Yeah.
Usually just need a quorum.
There are 7 abstentions.
6 and 6 is 13.
Okay.
There are 7 abstentions. Chang, Chelsea Chang was the first one to abstain. I count 7 abstentions and
Her,
six
Yeah,
yeses.
it does not pass.
Hancock's, Casey, Binker, Kamei, abstaining.
I need an
Lang.
attorney to help me out.
You need 7 yeses.
I need 7 yeses.
Yeah.
Yep,
Yes.
because the abstentions is what's throwing me off in this case.
You
Okay,
need a majority of those voting and present. So you need a quorum to take the vote, and then you need a majority of those voting present is typical. I don't think our bylaws deviate from the typical, but I don't know.
our bylaws follow Los Gatos bylaws. That's why I'm looking at it.
You're in charge.
We never have to deal with that because we're so small, but I think you need 7. I think you need a majority of those present.
Okay, let's go with that. And I,
So it fails for us, so we will not take a position on this. We'll let this go through with the 14 days is what.
we are not taking a position. We are not going to send any letter. That's essentially what it comes down to.
Very good.
Let's move on to the next bill, which is SB 1159. This is on artificial intelligence on transparency and governance. This is really to exclude artificial intelligence and other bots from the definition of, within quotes, person for various public transparency and disclosure laws and so on and so forth. And the goal is, from what I understand, when councils get public comment, a lot of comment is being generated by non-persons, by artificial intelligence,
Mhm.
and this is what this bill is targeted toward. That's my understanding. Does anyone feel differently? As I said, I'm managing 2 meetings today. I can take all the help from anyone. Mayor Bateja.
Yeah, I don't think that's what this says. At least that's not my interpretation. I think this has to do with public access. And they want to prevent artificial intelligence agents from doing public access. Now, the argument I believe in favor of allowing that is so when you go to ChatGPT or your favorite AI system to ask questions, it's able to retrieve information that it has obtained through public access. The downside of that is that now these agents can flood public agencies with public access records requests. And that, as we all know, can be very, very expensive and time consuming. That's my understanding of what this says.
Well, the letter here
Okay.
says, and I'll read this paragraph here, however, emerging AI and large language model LLM tools have made it easier than ever for bad actors to misrepresent public opinion in governance decisions. So this is about public opinion
Yeah, but that's not
Generate
what the
20
bill says.
Here's in June 2025, political consultant AI tool will generate 20,000 emails to South County Air Quality Management District regarding regulatory proposal before the board. The AI generated emails purported to be from members of the public, South Coast jurisdiction. But during an audit in the Air District, staffers, many said that they were not aware of signing on to such messages.
And I'm going to turn to Mayor Winker and then I'll share with you why I even brought this bill here or how.
I think that the first distinction is if a legitimate person uses an AI tool to formulate a public comment, that's one thing. That is separate. You can do that. You can get help if you want to help write you an email. What's happening here that I believe they're trying to get at, and I don't know if they have perfectly crafted the language, I haven't studied the bill, is the kind of thing that I'm currently experiencing in 2 venues. The one that's referenced here is about the South Coast Air Quality Management District. You may have read the front page article in the San Francisco Chronicle recently about the emails that we on the board of the Bay Area Air District are receiving. And I will tell you there's probably 3 or 4 that have come in while I've been sitting here. And it's been for months. And what happened is the San Francisco Chronicle took a look and just asked some random people whose identities were supposedly the ones sending these emails to me and other board members, and they found 10 of them who said, that's not me. I didn't send an email. So I think that's sort of a fraudulent, that's some entity is using names to fraudulently send them. And what my worry there is that it really undermines the policymaking process. We're supposed to listen to the public. I want to read the legitimate emails, and now I have no idea which are which. And so I don't know who's commenting. And the second thing is, at the city of Palo Alto, we have received Zoom callers who appear to be bots. That there's the voice synthesis, the messaging. So now we're trying to find technology to weed those out. But it's the same kind of thing. It undermines true public participation in our democratic policymaking to have non-human entities sending us messages. So, it's okay if they want to formulate their words in an email, but for some one entity to send out 5, 10, 500,
Right.
I think that's what this is aimed at. And I would support not allowing that.
Okay, thank you. And I'll just share with you, we have someone here who can help us. The reason I picked up this bill and the next bill, they are not specifically tied to Cities Association board priorities. However, I felt as council members and mayors in all the cities in our jurisdictions, they touch upon the work we do. And I was working with Silicon Valley Clean Energy, and that's where the Director of Legislative Affairs, Benna Chang, is here. And I saw these two bills and I figured this is important to bring here. So just so you know, I'm deviating from our board priorities because of that reason. So if you have any other questions, I completely respect Mayor Winker's point of view. But in the interest of time, if we have questions, I can ask Benna to help us. She's right here in the audience. Or we can move, I'm looking at the time, we can move forward.
League of Cities supports it. So
Correct.
Yeah.
Exactly. So questions? None? Any member of the public in person, online? None? Bringing it
I
back.
think this is a difficult issue for several reasons. One is, how do you reliably identify these agents? It's getting harder and harder. And by trying to identify an agent, you may inadvertently exclude humans. So I understand the challenges that we're facing, and I certainly agree that those are pretty serious. I just don't know how we can reliably do this.
Well, is this though, and that's a great point, but is this just saying in the definition, they're talking about excludes AI and other bots from the definition of person or the purpose of various public transparency and disclosure laws. So this is more, I think, a definition as opposed to any sort of ability to screen people out, right? I mean, that's how I'm seeing it. I think it's about a definition more than anything.
I assume it's a deterrent to let people know that if they got caught fraudulently sending this, that there would be it would be illegal, as opposed to, we're not going to let you send an email. So they may still hit our inboxes, but after the fact, we find out, you were doing this. That's not okay. So I think it's more ex post facto.
Are there penalties associated with it, or we just say you shouldn't have done that?
I don't know what the bill provides.
I think this is more about the definition here, and there'll be consequences. Who knows what those will end up being? But
There ought to be some.
That's what I
there
read,
certainly should be.
There ought to
Yeah.
be some.
especially in the letter of support from CalCities. So I trust them to have done a lot of the research. That's why I added that letter as an attachment here. Anyone online? I see an attorney online who's quiet and smiling. Any other comments on this one?
Larry Lang here in Los Altos. I don't have any comments on the specific legislation, but this is an area of concern. That AI makes it easier to flood various Public Records Act requests as well. And so it's something that we're concerned about, that people will just sort of essentially denial of service attack on the government using these tools. So it's something that's definitely on our radar screen.
Appreciate that comment. And I can speak for myself. My city doesn't take positions on bills. We don't have a lobbyist. But in this organization, I have felt comfortable representing myself to take positions on some bills that I generally feel are supportive of the work we all do. So just sharing that with all of you. Other thoughts or a motion?
I'd move to approve.
I'll second.
Okay, a motion by Mayor Turner, seconded by Mayor Winker. And any other comments? you want to take roll call vote, please?
Ann Bybee,
Abstain.
Kelly Ramirez,
Yes.
Larry Lang,
Abstain?
Rajiv Bateja,
Yes.
Rob Moore,
Yes.
Ken Torren,
Yes.
Mark Turner,
Yes.
Ellen Kamei,
Yes.
Vicky Vinker,
Yes.
George Casey,
Yes.
Kelly Cox,
Yes.
Tina Walia,
Yes.
Charles C. Chang.
Yes.
With 11 yes and 2 abstentions, motion passes.
Okay, wonderful. So we will write a letter. I'll have to figure out who signs it this time. I'll have to ask the attorney. Do I get to sign twice or what? I don't know. Okay, moving on. The next bill on our list is AB 1761. It's actually about energy bills data transparency, but really it's more again about data transparency, not even though it's focused on electricity bills, but it impacts affordability in all our territories. And that's why, once again, I deviated from the board priorities, but it's really about affordability impacting all the residents, all our constituents that we serve. So you have the summary with you. I am not going to take your time to go through that. It's essentially just expanding data disclosure requirements for Public Utilities Commission. Specifically for those who are familiar with the language PCIA used by PG&E, which is
Power charge and difference adjustment.
Thank you.
Very wonky, sorry.
Thank you. I just blanked out. I know that one. I just blanked out. So, questions, discussion. Who wants to start this one? And again, Benna is here. She can help us Benna, do you want to please help us with this one?
Oh, sure. I know this is sounds like a very wonky subject, but basically CCA customers, of which many of your communities are customers of CCAs, we pay the investor-owned utility a fee for some of the contracts that they entered into back in the day where our customers were their customers. And this bill is very simple and straightforward. It really is just, like the chair mentioned, a data transparency bill. So we're not arguing about who pays for this fee or whatnot, but it's really to help all of us better understand how that fee is calculated. Today it's done in a black box. We're not totally sure what the inputs are, and it makes it very challenging for stakeholders to understand what goes into the fee. So even today with our limited access, we have found mistakes that the investor-owned utilities have made in the calculation. So we just think additional sunshine and transparency is good governance, and it can help make sure that this fee is properly calculated.
Thank you. As a former Silicon Valley Clean Energy Board chair, I can tell you this has been our biggest problem at SPCE. Literally, it's a black box. Each one of us on our bills are paying something to PG&E that we have no clue what we are paying for. What they're saying is, and I'm willing to say that, and I am saying it publicly actually. So what they're saying is they entered into long-term contracts, but there seems, this is me as a layperson saying, there seems to be no end date to that long-term contract that they supposedly signed to procure electricity for, with the understanding and the assumption there are all these customers that they're going to have forever. Well, CCAs, the consumer choice aggregates, have been there for a while, and SPCE this year is celebrating its 10th year. And all of us, including myself, Saratoga, all the 12 cities and the unincorporated county under SVC territory, I can speak clearly for those. And similarly, I'm sure San Jose and Palo Alto, we are paying something for it that we don't even know what it's for and how long, and how it's calculated is the thing. And that's what this is about, right, Benna? Did I express it correctly? A few, 5 those years there. Okay, I'm glad I could express that well. Kelly, question.
So I have a question. So is there any feedback from San Diego Gas and Electric as to why they oppose? I'm just surprised by that opposition?
Great question, but
Two of the utilities, so PG&E has not formally put in an opposition letter on this, but Southern California Edison, as well as San Diego Gas and Electric have put in opposition letters. They say that there is no issue here, that there is no problem, that they do share a lot of information with the community. And what they don't want to share is market sensitive information because we're all market players. Our response back is that there are really robust rules and regulations now about how market sensitive data is shared. We're not proposing to change any of that. So we don't think that there is a
So
data risk. Yes.
PG&E not taking a stance is just that they haven't yet. And that
I
it's
don't know.
anticipated that they will oppose as
I'm
well.
not sure, but
Okay.
we know formally they have not.
Okay.
I have a hand raised online, then I'll come to Mayor Winker. Ellen?
Great, thank you. Hi, Benna. That was going to be my question, was I know that Cal Cities has their letter of support, but I had heard that there would be opposition and pushback, and that as it's going to committee, I guess we'll see what happens. Just checking in with you on, it may be supported by the cities, but do you think the bill will go forward or
Yeah,
not?
great question. So it did pass out of the Assembly Energy Committee recently, and now it's in the Assembly Appropriations Committee. So I think fairly good conversation at the Assembly Energy Committee, and we think there's some momentum to getting this bill passed. Again, it's a very straightforward bill about just making sure the data is provided, but we're not changing any of the fundamental policy issues with the power sharing difference adjustment. So I would say it's a very modest bill.
Mayor Winker?
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, I would just say, so Palo Alto owns its own utilities, so we don't have, CCAs and that type of a thing. However, I do sit on the executive committee of the Northern California Power Agency, which Palo Alto is a member of. And we have a lot of rate cases against PG&E because we do pay for transmission, even though we do our own power generation. So on behalf of our customers, since it's public power, we're the ones that go at PG&E. And I will tell you, we have won case after case after case where the rates have been wrong. And, for the return on investment of legal fees is probably 10 to 1, millions and millions of dollars coming back to our customers. So I do think that, and now we had to do that through discovery to get that data. So to get that data out there will, I think, be helpful because I know firsthand there are overcharges that happen with the IOUs.
That's very helpful, especially with your level of expertise there. And I, as a layperson, can add 5 years on SPCE board as the former board chair there. This was our constant biggest pet peeve, Benna? PCIA?
Big deal.
Yeah, it's a big deal.
Big deal.
It adds a lot, and I feel confident. I'm actually going to make a motion that we move forward with this bill. I feel that confident about this, and I'm breaking protocol as the committee chair. Chelsea.
Yeah, I was going to add to, with the CCAs, when they came online, people are automatically enrolled. So they weren't supposed to continue signing these large contracts, but it keeps going into this black box of what are they doing, how much they're getting charged. And then the CCAs then are not as competitive. Customers could be paying less. There could be more being invested into our cities. And we just have no clue what they're charging for if they're signing large contracts just to sign them.
I'll
Thank
second.
you. I made a motion. There is a second. Did I take public comment? Nobody online?
No, I'm
None?
fine.
Okay, bring it back to the committee. Anyone online who wants to speak? Thanks for your question earlier, Councilmember Kameh. Anyone else? No. Bringing it back,
I just want to
Councilmember
say
Cox.
we absolutely are in a similar position. We do not use PG&E with our own utility. This is one that we will abstain on, and I can't imagine it doesn't pass. I certainly would be willing because this is necessary. If for some reason we hit an obstacle, take this back to council to make a position on this. It's not within our LAP, but I think it's absolutely necessary.
Thank you for sharing that. That's a great voice of support to cities that have their own utility and are still expressing support for this. Okay, other comments? None? Let's have a motion on this, please. Oh, sorry, a vote. We already have a motion.
Motion to support AB 1761 was made by Walia, seconded by Turner. Ivy? Aye. Sorry, I should call you by your city. Hal?
Oh, abstain since I was not here then for the first half.
Ramirez?
Yes.
Lang?
Yes.
Los Altos Hills? Oh, sorry.
Yes.
It's okay, go ahead.
Okay. Los Gatos?
Yes.
Okay. Monte Sereno?
Yes.
Morgan Hill?
Yes.
Mountain View?
Yes.
Palo Alto?
Yes.
San Jose?
Yes.
Santa Clara?
Abstain.
Saratoga?
Yes.
Sunnyvale?
Yes.
With 12 yes and 2 abstentions, motion passes.
Okay, thank you. Let's move on to the next bill, which is AB 2517. This is about fire safety in the fire hazard severity zones. And this bill would require the state fire marshal to post information about the development of new fire hazard severity maps with advance notice to provide for public comment from public agencies and interested stakeholders and so on and so forth. So to have an established process or to improve the process for public engagement seems to be a good thing. There's a long list of supporters. And the last I checked, which was also confirmed by JR earlier this morning, that there is no opposition on file yet. So with that, questions, comments, Mayor Moore?
I'll just say, in Los Gatos, our fire maps changed a lot in this last cycle, and we're a very high-risk community, and our residents were totally lost their minds about this. And if there would have been a lot more public engagement to explain what these maps actually do and don't do, I think there would have been less losing of hair. And so I think this is a very good common sense way to just make sure that people know what the maps do.
Okay,
I'll make a motion.
wonderful. Go ahead.
Second.
Okay, motion to support this. Okay,
Is it Torrance? Motion to approve AB
I
2517.
just want to make a comment about this.
I'll
if I
take,
may.
go ahead,
Um,
go ahead, go ahead.
By Torrin, second, I can catch the second.
Mayor Moore.
Second by Moore.
Okay, other questions? I'm going to take public comment for a quick second before I forget. Any public comment?
No one online?
No one online, bring it back. Mayor Bateja. Questions,
so
comments?
this support for this came up at our last city council, and I believe support was voted down, I think for the wrong reasons. And we're going to bring it back in May. So although I personally support it, our council didn't, so I'm going to abstain.
Okay, other comments?
I'll say again, we'll abstain on this because it's not within our LAP, but the legal team did suggest if, again, this is something because it does impact so many of our neighboring cities, there ends up being a roadblock, we would take a position of support.
Well, let me share my experience. Saratoga is probably the only city which lost area west of Saratoga, Sunnyvale in the hills from very high fire severity, very high fire hazard severity zones. I cannot tell you how many hours I have spent discussing this with other cities, my peers, and so many other folks, and the angst that our residents have gone through, because that's precisely where builders remedy projects are. And the evacuation route is it's a challenge. Pierce Road is the only one to evacuate people from our hillside. And to Mayor Moore's point, the earlier we would have found out would have been very helpful. I remember the date when this came out. It was February 24th, 2025. That is how much it has impacted my city. So I'm going to be supporting this. Just wanted to share that with you, that yes, West Valley cities are impacted by the risk of wildfire. Other comments?
So for this one, our legislative
platform says to monitor the bills. So we are putting it on the council agenda for approval. Likely we will support it. So I think I can vote to support it, even though the council decision will come later.
Okay,
Because this is, I think it's a beneficial bill.
that would be very helpful. This is the bill where CalCities is not only sponsoring the bill and supporting it, but CalCities actually has an action alert where they are asking people to support this. It's that important. To me, that's my non-legal way of looking at things and seeing how much of an impact and a positive. It's been vetted through that big organization. Anyone online? Oh, yes. Councilmember Kamei, Ellen Kamei.
Yeah, so I just wanted to add a little color to it. I sit on the CASCC's board of directors, and we come up with our priorities. We were trying to do it biannually, but it got revisited obviously after the devastating wildfires in Southern California in particular. So this public safety and doing something related to fire safety was a really long discussion with our board. And this is where this legislation stems from. So I just wanted to share for all of you who are members of CalCities, this is in direct response to all of your advocacy for us to do something.
Wonderful. Other comments? Seeing none, we have a motion and we have a second. Let's take a vote on this, please, Sean.
Sunnyvale,
Yes.
Saratoga,
Yes.
Santa Clara,
Abstain.
San Jose,
Yes.
Palo Alto,
Yes.
Mountain View,
Yes.
Morgan Hill,
Yes.
Monte Sereno,
Yes.
Los Gatos,
Yes.
Los Altos Hills,
Abstain.
Los Altos,
Yes.
Gilroy,
Yes.
Cupertino,
Yes.
Campbell.
Yes.
With 12 yes and 2 abstentions, motion passes.
Thank you. I have a special word of thanks to the cities that are not facing the wildfire risk and are willing to support. I understand the ones who are abstaining. I totally understand you have to work with your council. But especially the cities that have that don't face this risk, I have always said we are together as one large family. If there is a risk of wildfire in one part of the county, the others will be impacted. So thanks on behalf of all the constituents, especially the West Valley cities. With that, let's move on to the next bill, which is SB 894, Wildfire Resiliency Financial Assistance. Okay, a long list of, a medium-sized list of supporters, and the opposition is California Association of Realtors, who are asking for an amendment. And I don't see support from or any position from CalCities yet. Am I reading that correctly?
Yeah, it says no position.
Okay, so who wants to comment on this or raise some issues or questions? Anyone? Mayor Moore.
So this is something my city's emergency manager has been paying attention to. What this does is it creates state-backed loans for homeowners to retrofit their homes in the I think there's different designations depending on the wildfire risk. And I think this is a really good incentive. We have one of our big problems in Los Gatos, and I know other hillside communities deal with this, is you have folks who are good actors up in the hillsides, but then there's a lot of folks who are not interested in hardening their homes. And if you have a bunch of homes in a neighborhood and a wildfire comes through and nobody's taken the time to retrofit their homes, it doesn't matter how much, land clearing you've done on public land, those homes will go up. And so I think this is a good incentive to create, for at least those that are resistant due to cost. I think it's a good a good model to explore. And my understanding is states like Texas have this for different sorts of disasters, but California would be the first to do it for wildfire.
Okay, other comments on this one?
I have a question.
Yeah.
So it says the existing law already requires that them to enter into a joint powers agreement. So with this one, then they won't need to enter into joint powers agreement. They will just administer the loan program, but the governor has to fund it. So the funding would come from the general fund.
Can anyone help me with that? I don't have the answer to that question. Anyone online? Anyone who has researched this bill in depth?
Good question. Where's the money coming from,
Yeah.
right? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And the second paragraph of the summary also says existing law already establish a financing authority to provide alternative methods of financing in promoting the establishment of some facilities. So I'm guessing the current law does not support individual homeowners. Is that only supporting agencies? I don't know. So we don't know. Okay. Yeah, I will have to abstain because our legislative platform is as monitor, and this way have not looked at, so, yeah.
I understand that you will be abstaining, but what I really appreciate is that in spite of that, you're raising the questions, and that's what I like about this Legislative Action Committee. It's a lot of work, and we all work together to support all our constituents. Any other insights?
Actually, I have a question too. Not only where's money coming from, but is it the state who would be the agency to process loans? If that's the case, that would be a concern for me.
Okay.
It would be the state.
That's my understanding. I think they create the California Wildfire Resilience
Okay.
Loan Program.
Yeah, within the department. So I'm hearing kind of, should we just, in the interest of time, move on from this bill?
Yeah.
That,
Too unclear.
because I'm not hearing too much enthusiasm. Okay, let's move on. I tried to pull bills as much as I could that maybe that are active currently that would support our
If I can make
board
a short
priorities.
comment. So what I would like to see a bill would be, for example, we just approved a project that reduce the 30-foot setback to 10-foot. They will do home hardening for the new project, but for the existing homes, they are more endangered. So it could be, if it would be nice if the city can charge some impact fee from the new development when they reduce the setback, so that the funding can be used to help hardening the neighboring older existing homes.
Yeah,
That would
great
be
thought.
helpful.
Hold that
Yeah.
thought for a bill that's going to come up now or maybe another time.
Okay.
Let's just move on in the interest of time, see if we can find our way through one more bill or maybe two more bills. So the next one on our list tonight is SB 899. It's about fire prevention, wildfire, and forest resilience task force, specifically aimed at wildfire smoke and the impact on health of the people, again, within the Wildfire and Forest Resilience Action Plan. So this has, unlike the prior one, this one does have Cal City's support, and I can see someone nodding online. I did attach the form letter of support that Cal Cities has provided on their website. Alan, do you want to help us with this as well? I'm just turning to you.
Yeah, I mean, I don't sit on the public safety committee for Cal Cities. they kind of like crafted it and came up with it. But, similar to the same vein that I was speaking on the earlier bills, like I think this is our number one priority actually. So we have, I think we have 4 priorities this year, and this was number 1. So that's where it's coming from.
Okay.
I don't know if
have
anyone
any-
else has.
Go ahead. Go
I
ahead,
don't know if
please, Ellen.
anyone else. I don't know if anyone else has members that are part of the public safety committee, but I know they discussed it there. So
Okay.
Not this
Mayor Winkler.
time. They may have last time and I couldn't make that. So I actually sit on public safety.
yeah.
So this time we were talking about e-bikes.
Oh, okay. We will get to that in August.
Yeah,
Yeah,
which is
that is
another
a
big
board-
issue. Yeah.
Yes.
Big issue.
Certainly teeing up at the board meeting, you'll hear from me about working with the board priorities. Okay, other thoughts, questions, comments? While you're thinking, I'll open public comment. Anyone in the room? Seeing none. Anyone online?
No one online.
Thank you. Close public comment. Okay, comments on this one.
I apologize. I didn't read it. So the answer may be in there, but I'm going to ask it anyway. The action plan to assess the health costs and impacts of wildfire smoke.
Yeah.
For what? I mean,
Saying to develop I'm looking at the form letter, and that one says it to
I think I don't know. Yeah, I'm a little confused. So again, I apologize. I didn't read it. So I'm sorry. I just don't have I don't have an understanding of I get the health costs. I don't know what will they do? What's the plan in understanding the health costs and impacts of wildfire smoke, which we know is not good. That's
Okay.
all. I'm not sure what
Does anyone have an answer, Mayor Buttigieg?
Well, I just have a
Same thought,
question.
Mark.
What's that?
Same thoughts here, Mark.
Oh, got it. Okay, got it.
Okay, thanks, George.
I just have a question. When these bills are proposed in the legislature, isn't there expected cost for each one?
For the bill itself.
My understanding of the bill is that it creates a task force who would come up with like an assessment model related to the costs. That was my understanding of how the bill read.
I guess I'm asking a higher level question that when a bill is proposed in the legislature,
No,
isn't there something that says the expected cost of this legislation, if it were to go into effect, would be so much?
Not right away. Ellen, can you help us because you'll do a better job?
No.
Not right
No.
away, correct? Yeah. Yeah.
No, I mean, I think that not every, a lot of what the legislature does is they create policies, but there's not always funding for it. I mean, that was the whole part of like care court, was that counties felt like it was an unfunded mandate on them, and that was part of the difficulty of the implementation. If you followed care court when that came forward by the governor, and that's why some of the counties are on the hook, because it was adopted and signed into law without a funding source identified. So no, bills are not required for it to be analyzed in terms of funding sources, but that could be what kills a bill, is that kind of technical aspect. So, but that's where my understanding is that the task force would come up with the assessment of how the funding would be created. We can follow up with, Cal Cities has a whole lobbying team. I can reach out to them if you want further analysis.
I think that
We could
sounds great.
table it, and like, I think the last bill and this bill where there's more technical questions, if via you, President Walia and Shally, I can work on the Cal Cities bills at least that are being asked for support.
I really appreciate your support on that. That would really help this body. So thank you. And maybe that's, we don't even need to make a motion on that if that's where we land, but that would certainly help. Okay, does that answer your question, Mayor Buttigieg? Okay, Councilmember Chao.
So according to the summary, existing law already requires the task force. So I'm assuming this task force is already formed. with allocated funding. And then, but it seems, and then it's every 5 years they will update the action plan. So this bill seems to just be adding the smoke, wildfire smoke, estimate its impact and have a model for that. And my question would be, usually when they ask for a model, that means someone has a follow-up bill in mind how they would use the model. So maybe if you can and find out information about that, I'm curious what's after this.
I can see people reading the bills. Mayor Rinker.
Yeah, what I'm skimming for, and I'm not finding it quickly enough, I apologize. The Air District obviously cares deeply about this bill. And so I chair the policy committee at the Air District, and I found the PowerPoint from the time prior to the last time when SB 899 was brought to us, but it was sort of a watch at that point because they weren't sure how the language would develop. And sometimes when you have, I mean, generally the air districts or CARB at the state level are the ones that look into health impacts of wildfire smoke and other types of air quality parameters. So what I can't tell quickly enough is if this is creating a jurisdictional change, which would have a whole lot of ripple effects that we should know and understand before we take a position on it, I would say. So that's something I'm happy to bring back more information about as well. So we could get Cal City's take and the, you know, our local air district's take on the impact of this, if you'd like.
Appreciate that. Thank you so much. I think we are so fortunate on this committee to have two leaders of Cal Cities, Mayor Winker and former Mayor Kamei here. So should we just leave it there for them to, unless I hear something else?
Sure.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you. We can bring this back. And with that, we move on to the last bill for this evening, which is SB 949. That's our Senator Becker's bill. It's Environmental Protection Natural Resources Agency. And this bill would designate the Santa Cruz Mountains as a natural resource of statewide significance, requiring special protection. Again, the idea came from, does this help with, at some point, does this help with keeping that area protected so that we reduce the risk of future wildfires? That was kind of the reason where last week, as I was scrambling to find a list of bills, I figured this may be a good one for us to discuss. Any comments on this one? Anyone? Mayor Moore.
I was going to say, so I think Senator Becker represents a lot of us, though I know not all of us. I've talked with Josh about this bill, and basically what Josh is trying to do with Semper Virens Fund and Mid-Penn and some of these open space authorities is set up. This is, I think, largely symbolic, but it helps move things along at the state to create better actual protections up there in the Santa Cruz Mountains. So right now, Semper Virens Fund, among other organizations, are slowly buying up land to protect it. And a lot of the time, the landowners are really supportive of that, but there are often issues with how you actually designate the land to be protected. And so my understanding is that this is a step in setting up greater protections in the Santa Cruz Mountains writ large. But I think at this time it's largely symbolic, so I think it would make sense to support.
In
In terms of not having, and you're probably closest to it, but not having, I mean, what are the residents, what are their concerns in the Santa Cruz Mountains? What might this mean to them, and what new restrictions might they face is my concern.
Yeah.
Good question. Hold on, Councilmember. Any other thoughts?
No.
Okay, Councilmember Chow, go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay.
Yes.
So yeah, I have a similar question for someone who actually live in the area, the mountain area. Would they not be able to do certain improvement renovation they probably want to do? Or, what would that mean?
Okay,
Yeah,
Councilmember Cox?
road development.
So our city's comments on this were kind of interesting. We feel like there's partial alignment to our LAP, and I think it's a good learning opportunity for me to kind of understand the rigidity of the LAP. What they found, though, was because it had so many multiple components within this bill, we couldn't support it in its entirety with our LAP. And so it's a watch position right now. But again, it provides broader environmental and climate action plans that do support. But again, when we went into things about tribal access, cultural practices, none of those are captured within our current LAP. So our stance was there's partial support. Don't take action on it right now.
Okay, and when you say LAP, what action?
Our legislative action. plan.
Legislative action plan.
Okay.
Thank you. See, that's me from a city that doesn't have one, so I'm struggling. Okay, other thoughts? Anyone online? Any comments? I don't see anyone in the room. Public comment in the room, online?
No one online.
Seeing none, okay. I close public comment, so we just leave it.
Yeah, I think we could support a watch position.
That's essentially, I will leave it to hopefully the next chair soon enough who can decide what to do with this bill. Not on my watch, as this committee's chair, hopefully. With that, we will move on to the last item for tonight's agenda, and perfect timing. Item number 4, which is proposed bills to consider for discussion at the next Legislative Action Committee meeting in the month of May. I hope you you did get the email that I sent via Executive Director Shally. I hope somebody has some bills that you would like to propose. Councilmember Cox, thank you so much. Go ahead.
So we have 2 we'd like to be considered. SB 922, which is layered. The vehicles bill with local agencies charges and the use of streets. This was a lawsuit, I want to say, that occurred recently somewhere in California. Again, support legislation and efforts that provide funding for diverse transportation projects such as local streets. We believe that the implementation of this would support additional cities that would be subject from lawsuits to eliminate the ability to utilize franchise fee revenue for street maintenance. So that's one we'd like to have looked at. The other is AB 1821 from Pacheco. This is, again, a California Public Record Act agency response time. This may be unique to Santa Clara because we have such a proliferation of PRAs. They would like to support this that moves the 10-day request for copy of records to 14. It's been just a tremendous burden on our staff.
10 to 14.
10 to 14, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. We probably take action on that one tonight.
But I thank you for bringing those 2 bills. I mean, I am very happy to see that. Anyone online who has any bills to suggest for the next meeting? Seeing none. Anyone in the room? Mayor Moore?
I have 2 e-bike ones that we've been looking at. One is moving along through the legislature pretty quickly, which is SB 1167, which adds the 750 watt requirement in state law about designating e-bikes. So it provides a much clearer definition for e-bikes, which hopefully would give what are e-bikes, what are e-motorcycles, which gives law enforcement a better tools to actually ticket the bad ones. And then AB 1942 is actually creates a process for registration and special license plates for e-motorcycles. So if people do want to ride little e-motorcycles, they can do so if they go through the DMV and take all the steps, but like they could any other motorcycle. But yeah, those are 2 that we're looking at.
Thank you. Mayor Winker.
Yeah, I might just add to that so very brief synopsis of what they said at Cal Cities was that we heard from a lot of cities who had adopted various e-bikes ordinances locally. And the question is, could the state provide some kind of baseline that's uniform and then people can build on it? Because the stories of rural communities were very different than those of, urban communities, which are different again from suburban communities. But some people had 500 watts, some had 750. It was all over the board. But I did want to just lift up that Cal Cities has a toolkit on their website for e-bikes that both talks about the state legislation and gives people exemplars of what other cities have done. So if you want to sort it out in your city, or if we want to look at it before we talk about this next month, they have a collection of information.
Okay, that is fabulous. Councilmember Chang. Chow and Chang, sorry, I was reading your name. And then Vice Mayor Biden. Vice Mayor Chow, my apologies.
So just bills that we considered at our legislative review committee. One bill is AB 1708. That's a bill that would allow the cities to also apply to funding for homeless housing assistance and prevention. Because right now, smaller cities, right now only cities with population 300,000 or more are able to get that funding. So that's it's each city can decide if you want to apply or not, but at least we have that option. So that's something we voted to support. And the other one is AB 1751. This one is a housing bill. It's called the Missing Middle Townhome Ownership Act. It will actually take away local control by force the streamlining of townhome projects. So this one we have voted to oppose that you might be interested in.
Thank you. Thank you. Councilmember Chang.
We're tracking a few bills that might be of regional interest. So AB 2146 by Stephanie. It would allow affordable housing units to be leased outside of the CES process after extended vacancy periods. SB 457 by Becker, the housing element compliance to count preservation of affordable housing toward RENA obligations. AB 2162 by Brian expands rental assistance eligibility for youth aging out of foster care. SB 1215 by Cortese to require EV charging infrastructure in multifamily housing.
Thank you. And Vice Mayor Bybee.
I would just add the addition of the SB 922 as well. Our legislative subcommittee has already taken a position on it and sent a letter of support. But I think it's important for all cities to weigh in on it. It does impact local fees, so and it will impact our budget. If it's
Local
not
fees for?
local fees for transportation.
Okay. Okay. Wonderful. Thank you.
This is a bill. I sit on the Revenue Taxation Policy Committee at Cal Cities. So that's a bill that they are really asking the cities to support.
Okay. Wonderful. Thank you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give the list of bills with the names of the committee members who have suggested those to the next chair, if that's the process the board goes with tonight. And as that board has said, we want to discuss bills that are aligned with the board priorities. In addition, if there is something, as I deviated tonight, there were some that were very important to everyone for our constituents. So that's how I'm going to frame it and leave it at the discretion of that hopefully new chair if we get one tonight. And we will take it from there. The description has been extremely helpful tonight. With that, I am going to once again thank.
Add one more bill that I forgot to mention.
Quickly, I need to adjourn the meeting because I can
AB
see our guest speakers for the next meeting.
1674.
Say that again?
1674.
SB or AB?
AB. It's a bill about food affordability. This is a bill Patrick Aaron is trying to advocate. So since he's our assembly member, I thought it's important for me to mention that.
Thank you. Thank you. As I said, the criteria I've already shared with you. I will convey all of this to the next chair. And with that, once again, thank you to each one of you for having a detailed discussion on all these bills. We actually went through 7 bills and took positions on a handful of those. And I also want to thank Mayor Winker and Council Member Kamei for your support in going back to review and get us more information on SB 899. And also thank you to Vice Mayor Lang and Council Member Casey, as well as Council Member Kamei to have made yourself available remotely. Thank you so much. With that, the meeting is adjourned at 6:40.